Lorn MacDougal, and I was born in New Jersey in the United States, but did most of my life in New York City. And I've been here for 5 years. I came after 3 years in London where I was working as a director of a dance company. And I came here because my husband and I were both interested to be on the continent for a few years, to make it a freelance base. I came here because there's a strong dance world. And because, of course, people speak English, and I knew I could work in English. And it was, what else did you ask?
That was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you speak Dutch?
I speak Dutch to the degree that I need to. I was very fortunate to be offered 600 hours of instruction by the gemeente, from the Dutch local government, in the inburgering programma, which is a program to help to teach Dutch to foreigners, to newcomers, and with the express point of view that we are able to work at the end. So it was somewhat different for me because of the way that I survived, but I am so grateful for it because not only can I speak to the degree, as I said, that I need to, but I can read. And of course, people have to understand that while people do speak English here, it is not a bilingual country, and it is therefore very important to be able to read what you get in your mailbox from the utility companies, from the insurance company, to be able to go online and deal with Dutch sites. If you want to book an air flight, you can't constantly be asking your neighbors for a translation. It's impossible. So, yeah, and then and also children. Children do not speak English, and I'm fortunate to be able to have enough Dutch and to work with them in dance. I teach girls from 10 to 12, just once a week, but it's a great pleasure. And yeah.
What do you like about living in Holland?
What do I like? I like that it's clean. I like the infrastructure. I think it's brilliant. The fact that there are bike paths throughout the whole country, the way that the bridges open up for the boats to pass through. Yeah, the engineering. I love the modern architecture as well as the old architecture. I mean, I love to go along the canals, and the fact that people keep their windows uncurtained. There's an openness, so you can look into people's, you're just riding by, so you're going quickly, but you look in and you get a glimpse of life, just a snapshot, and also the interiors are very beautiful. I find that Dutch people have marvelous taste in lighting and in furnishings, and there are always many books on shelves, and I love that. I love that there are no obese people here also. I like how the Dutch look. They're sporty, they're healthy looking. I like that people are dressed casually, but yet with style, with flair, sometimes zany, sometimes crazy, especially in the summer, the way the women put patterns together. Yeah, it's fun, yeah, but the biking, for me, a small city that feels cleaner. I don't know if it really for sure is, because I know that the Benelux area is so densely populated. There are a lot of cars here, but Amsterdam anyway, with the way that the wind sweeps through, feels very clean, and I'm on a bike, and so I'm not contributing to any air pollution. I feel very good about that, and of course I love to stay in shape more ways than just through dancing, and so that had to be was a big factor for us in terms of coming here. Looking for a place after many years in New York City and then London, looking for a city that was a little calmer, a little quieter, and had this alternative ways of getting around, which has something about that has always been important to me.
The health care.
Yeah, sure.
Dutch healthcare, and is there any
extensively, because I basically haven't gotten very sick since I've been here, but I've gone to the house arts, of course, the general practitioners.
What is that like?
Well, at first it wasn't so great, but then I changed offices, and now it's much better. At first it was a little bit like, when you go into the store around here and you don't get that overdone, helpful attitude that I'm used to from home, where they'll tell you, tell you everything about what you want to buy. It was a little bit like that, which doesn't happen here. It was a little bit like that when I went to the house arts, which was that I had to have all my questions ready and everything, and otherwise he didn't offer very much, and I was out the door in just a few minutes. But now I've changed offices, and it's much better. And in fact, last week I was really pleased because I could, instead of having to go to a specialist to go to the gynecologist for a pap smear, or to an ear doctor to have my ears cleaned, which the last time I did that was in New York and cost me $150. No, more than that, $200. I went to the house arts and they did both. And it was, you know, it was fine. I mean, having your ears cleared is not that big a big deal. So it's that part is quite practical. There, the medical industry here is less aggressive than in America. There's less litigation. They're not overdoing it. They have that philosophy also with antibiotics. They don't give them to you just at the drop of a hat because they feel that, of course, that, you know, brings up your resistances. Alain did have some, my husband did have some health problems that necessitated going to the hospital, and we were very impressed. I mean, it was clean, it was bright, it was cheerful, nice architecture, helpful people, really professional. Yeah.
Do you feel safe living in Holland?
Yes, very. Very. That's, yeah, so another one of the lovely aspects that goes along with a clean and beautiful city.
So you feel like you could walk around by yourself?
Yeah, but I'm almost never walk. I'm always on the bike. So that might be part of my safeness, but
yeah.
But yes, yeah.
And what is the culture of going out to eat, or the going out culture? It's a translation from Dutch. So what is it like to go out to eat in a restaurant and to go to a bar? Or do you do that?
Yeah, it's not as satisfying as some places I've lived, because you know, there's the cuisine here is, even though it's international. My favorite is the tapas. So when we go out to eat, generally it's for tapas. But I have to say that my husband is an excellent cook because he's French, and he's made it his business to become an excellent cook over the years. So I'm not maybe the best person to ask that because I have really high standards.
So
you know,
people with high standards would.
Well, but yeah. So as I said, I like the tapas. A lot of times I don't feel that we eat all that well when we go out. But then I felt that way in London too, and it may just because also I find that there are other things I'd rather spend my money on than going out to eat.
Well,
when I go out, to go to the theater or go to films or something like that.
Yeah, it brings me to my next question. How do you spend your free time?
That way, reading,
More specific about
sometimes cycling just for the pleasure of it. Yeah. In the summer, going out to Amsterdam or outside, you know, up over to the north, taking the free ferry across the Het IJ and just going through villages and up on the dikes with the sea on both sides, and you know, I just love that. So there's, you know, as long as it's not too windy, there's always that possibility, or rainy, to just go out and move through space. And otherwise, but yeah, I read quite a bit, mostly in French, not in Dutch so much, except when I have to. Yeah. And going to the theater, going to films.
What kind of theater is here to see, to experience?
Well, for me, it's dance theater, because my comprehension of Dutch, I'm hearing impaired, and so while I can speak Dutch, you know, as I said, as much as I need to, it's much harder for me to understand it. So I don't go to verbal theater, but I like to go to physical theater and dance. Yeah.
Great.